Hi, my name is Andre Burton, and I work for Catholic Media Services Limited as a member of the digital media team. And today on our program, we'll be chatting with two digital missionaries. So on my right, today we have Greg,
Hi.
and on my left we have Corial.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank
you
you.
for joining me on the program today.
Thank you for having us.
All right. So today we like to start with Greg. And Greg, you recently attended Conectados.
Yes.
Conectados. Sorry, yeah. So tell me a little bit about that. How was that experience like for you?
It was a little bit nerve-wracking. I mean, everybody spoke either English or Portuguese. It was in Mexico.
Right.
It was in February. The AEC had nominated me to go and represent the English-speaking Caribbean, and to be part of this. And what is Conectados, people may ask. It is the connection of Latin America and Caribbean, of the church and the digital mission in those countries. So this group came together. It was a group of priests, bishops, people in communication, people who had their own platforms, people who are digital influencers or digital evangelizers, all coming together to talk about how do we go forward in this time with the digital mission. Because as you know, each pope has called for us as church to embrace also the digital continent as a terrain where we should go with the mission of Christ, to go and evangelize all nations. So with the emergence of this digital continent and this digital world where a lot of people find themselves on these days, whether it's for work, recreation, or some of them just killing time or finding meaning there. People are there, and there are people who are looking for answers as well. So it's talking about how do we as church move into this next coming time where more and more AI is involved and other distractions, and you name it. We all know the challenges of the digital world, but how do we bring Christ's light there? How do we bring Christ's message of hope, Christ's message of salvation into that world?
Okay. Yeah. So I understand that there were about over 40 participants from 20 different countries.
Correct.
So it's not a very big group, but a very diverse group. So how was that experience of networking with persons from all over the world?
It was both inspiring and intimidating, because I must say the Latin American countries are really ahead of us, it seems, ahead of the Caribbean when it comes to having that foot in the digital world and being busy with the digital evangelization. I mean, I was shocked to meet somebody, compared to what we know. I don't think we know a lot of digital influencers here in the Caribbean.
Right.
Deacon Derek, Father Crystal, and a few others for sure. But in terms of numbers, somebody had over 1.6 million followers.
Wow.
And he was doing this as his full-time job. He was living or is living off of it, and he has a young family to feed and to care for. So just to see how they are, if you want to say, advanced in that. But also in that same meeting, they warned us that numbers is not everything. And if we do this, we are not supposed to, do it for ourselves, for the numbers, for the viewers, but truly for the mission of the church. Because in the end, it is Christ's mission. It is what he asks us to do, to go and evangelize. It's not our mission.
Yeah. Okay, and Corial, we're going to come to you in a little while, but just one more thing before we move on. Coming out of the meeting, how do you see us here in the Caribbean getting as advanced as some of the Latin American countries? What steps do we need to take here in order to get that done?
I think, for one, we need to start. We need to bite the bullet. We need to see what is needed.
What's possible.
Right? Because you don't just go and create for creating's sake. Because, yes, you can. And then with hoping that, people stumble across your page, that, yes, they will follow you and they will benefit from it.
Yeah.
But Yeah, as much as you have a message or a mission and you feel called to it, you also need to gauge and see what is your target audience, what age are they, and therefore that will determine what platform you use, because young people, children, teenagers, I should say, are not on Facebook anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of the older people are not on TikTok necessarily. Some are. Thumbs up, Deacon Derek. You know, but yeah. So you just need to know how to as much as they don't like us to label it as, how to label, how to promote your product.
Right, yeah.
But it's more like your brand, right? But be mindful that this is part of the wider church's mission that you join, and the essential message that Christ is love, Christ is salvation, and there's salvation for everybody.
Yeah, because it is a challenge, because we have to hold true to the church's teachings, as well as embrace our own self in order to get the content out there. Yeah. So, correct. All right. So Coriel, so you are a member of your media team in La Divina Pastora.
Yes.
Yes. So we are in the Year of Hope. Could you tell me how your digital mission has evolved, and in what ways are you responding to the call to be a pilgrim of hope, but online?
Yes. Well, when we initially started the digital mission or media team, as you could say, in Saparia, it was merely out of necessity, because it began at the start of the pandemic, and we needed to live stream the masses. So at that point in time, I didn't view it as, oh, well, I can be a digital missionary. I just view it as, okay, this needs to be done. But when the appreciation started to come in from doing the live streams and doing the streaming of the funeral masses and services, then I began to see that, yes, this is really missionary work that we're doing here. And since then, we've expanded into Instagram and TikTok. We already had an established Facebook page, so that is where we started. But we wanted to cater to the younger audiences, so we made sure to start on Instagram, and recently a TikTok, coming off of an ask from one of our youngest members in our media team, Tyrell. And we have evolved from then into a bigger team where everybody has their own roles to play. I and my sister are more in charge of running the Instagram page, and she curates content, and she's my editor, because she's with in keeping things very diplomatic and making sure you don't make any slip-ups that could be avoided, to avoid any mess online.
Yes, we know how that goes.
And really, at the start of the Jubilee year, when we were hearing everything that was planned for this entire year, I already knew, okay, so I'm going to volunteer to help in all these Jubilee events, to help with media services, because that's what I know, and that's how I know I can reach out to people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So within your parish, though, do you see yourself more as a content creator, a bridge builder, or a spiritual companion in the digital space? I know you're one of the founding members of the media team there, so
yes.
What's your role like now?
I more see myself as a bridge builder rather than a content creator, because even though I create content, I more try to get information out there. I know now in the world that we live in, seeing is believing. So the church does a lot of good, and I like to get that out there so people can see, hey, the church is doing this to help us on this mission that we have, my mission of hope.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. So this question will be for either one of you all. How do you all think we can better reflect communion, participation, and mission in our ministry? This is coming out of the synod. You recently had synod within the church. So how do you all think we can reflect communion, participation, and mission? Okay?
So I work with Trinity TV, so that's my platform. Yeah. I don't have a personal, yes, I have my personal account, and I do post things there, but it's not for that. You know, I really put my evangelization through Trinity TV, what I help with creating over there. Mm-hmm. And I think coming to your question, more networking.
Okay.
I I think we've heard the Archbishop, but also other priests share about their church attendance experience after COVID, and I'm still hearing some of them begging people to come back to the church and not just stay hooked on online or on TV, you know.
Yeah.
Because our faith, our religion is a real life person, in-person encounter and an experience, right? And that's what we are called to, and that's what we're made for, to socialize and to be with one another, and that's how we experience God. So, so I think it's to, I suppose, repeat that message and urge people, you know, invite people to come. But if you invite people to come, then you also need to be ready to receive them.
Yes.
So in the parishes and the communities, we need to make sure that, yes, we have people who are hospitable, who are welcoming, and who will go out of their way to welcome back people, right? And it's not just greeting at the door when they come in or saying goodbye when they go, but making a journey with people, making that journey that is needed. And therefore, we need to be willing to take that chance and to humble ourselves, to put away our pride sometimes, to say, hi, so welcome back. Is there anything else you need? You know, because it's not just church that they come for. Some people come with other needs. And so how do we cater to those needs as a church?
Okay. Coriel, anything you'd like to add?
Yes. Adding to his point, there's a need for more accessibility within the church, especially for those living with disabilities, because we are living our lives and we are not sure, this is an everyday thing that we go through, but that might be a challenge for them. And that challenge may prevent them from coming to church, to coming into community. So making sure there are things in place, for example, a simple thing as wheelchair access. Or thinking about, okay, maybe we should train someone that they can be a sign language interpreter so that it's accessible to those who are hearing impaired. Things like that would also help build that bridge for people to come back.
Okay, thank you. All right, so Greg, can you tell me what role you think digital communities like Connectados can play in uniting the church across borders?
As I said, a lot of the people were kind of way ahead of us, so we can learn from them, for sure. So networking is, I think, on the top of the list. We don't have to invent the wheel all over again. It's the same with ministries. There are things within our church, there are commissions that are there that can help us establish or to put into flame whatever the church wants to do or whatever the parishes or communities want to do. And so we can approach those commissions. And I think it's the same when it comes to this aspect of digital mission, where we look at what is already available in the church, and then specifically for our region, and then from there to build on that. But also to see, you know, what else can we bring to this, or what else do we need to bring into this? Is it formation? Is it funding? Is it networking? Or is it interesting people to become missionaries, digital missionaries? And so what training does that need?
So Coriel, at the parish level, how are you creating space for authentic encounters online, or are you more focused on metrics and branding?
Well, we'd like to create a space for authentic encounter. I mean, that is the goal. We don't really focus on the metrics. It's getting it out there. And we really do try to help that, because most things that we post are things that, okay, I'm experiencing this right now, and I too would like you to experience this alongside me, this encounter with God. So that's mainly our content.
Okay. And how do you think we can be a little bit more intentional with accompanying people who are searching for faith or healing using the online space?
Definitely asking questions and probably hosting regular live streams. I recognize that for live streams, people are more open to ask a question, because you can't zero in on somebody there.
Yeah,
They'd ask the question there. But then you, the person who's hosting this stream, would know, okay, this is really a question that people are asking, so maybe I should address this to the community, have a whole separate video that could help persons understand this particular concept more, and making that more accessible, especially in the local context. Because while you may be asking questions about your faith and you go online and you search for answers, it may be from an international concept, and it doesn't relate to Trinidad and Tobago specifically. Even if you try to get it on a regional level, it wouldn't relate to Trinidad and Tobago. So having vetted theologians from Trinidad being able to answer these questions would also help us.
Okay, yeah. Anything you want to add, Greg?
So as I said, I work for Trinity TV. I'm part of Living Water Community. And so it is our ministry, but we are open to receiving help or input from parishes as well, and getting content from there. And it comes on to what you asked, our websites, or I should say our social media platforms. People do fire the questions there. And also we have a general email address for the community where we also receive questions. And so we try to, as best, to answer those questions, and what the digital mission and what the church teaches is, that we're not just there online, but truly present in the real world for the people too. So yes, sometimes we do tell them, you can call our center, our Living Water Center, and they will direct you, or they will help you, or direct you to a department that deals with your question or your need.
All right. So we know within the world of technology, things are evolving very quickly. There's always something new for us to learn, and challenges always come up. So the question I have is, what barriers do we face in our digital mission, and how do you think the church can help address them? Anybody want to jump in? Any barriers we might be facing?
Availability. Really and truly, I feel as though everyone who can speak from a level of authority, a place of authority, they are very busy. They are doing everything. Just recently, we're trying to get someone to come and help us with a Know Your Faith session that we're hosting in Saparia. And just to get someone to come and say, everybody's busy. Everybody is on pilgrimage. So it's like, who is available to answer, to come and help answer these questions?
Good.
What was the question again?
The question is, what barriers you might face in our digital mission?
The digital mission, I think it's as she said, availability. There's a lot of work to do. So not even from speakers that you need, but just people to help create content. People with those skills. That's one. And then sometimes you have people who may be willing, but you don't have the equipment. So that's the other thing. So it always borders, and that was mentioned at the Connectors meeting as well, that one of the barriers definitely that is experienced all over is finances, right? Being financed and getting proper equipment and personnel to do it. Because when you grow to the level of Trinity TV or even the parish media team, as you know, it just grows and it grows and it grows, and you can always find more work, but also because there's so many ideas, and the things that you do is just one little bit, and more you notice this is just one thing, and then you have other ideas and you want to do it, but where's the time? If that is available to buy, sure. But unfortunately,
All right. So within the context of the 21st century digital missionary, of course we have to touch on artificial intelligence, right? So how can technology, including AI, be used to serve rather than distract or divide in faith? do we have experience with using AI within our own ministries, and how do you think we can use it to help us advance our mission?
You can't escape AI these days. It's in everything, whether it's in an app, in a program, or actually built in on the device.
Yeah.
And yes, they are helpful. I mean, I went to Conectados, everybody was speaking Spanish. I had a translating app with me constantly. I was happy to have the app at the same time transcribing live, so I was able to keep up, copy the notes, put it in a note afterwards in a document, you know.
Yeah.
So I do see and experience the privileges or the positives of AI. But at the same time, you know, following that AI evolution, it is kind of scary of where it is going, of what people are using it for already, as we see on these same platforms that we host, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. There are so many creations that are fake or deep fakes, as you know, and more the line between what is artificial and what is real becomes blurry. And so one of the things that the church is calling for of the digital missionaries is that they are also advocates of truth, so that you can help people distinguish between what is not real and what is real. Because there are people out there who are out in blaming the church, in putting out negative things in the name of the church, just to give the church a negative review, right?
Yeah.
And drive away people from the church.
Yeah.
So what do we do as digital missionaries? So that's another task for us.
Yeah. Korea, any input on AI?
So definitely responsible usage of AI.
Yeah.
One thing I'd say that, especially amongst the youth, where we love to have a visual representation for everything, the use of AI images or AI art, which could be very controversial, and that's understandable, but they create videos depicting, okay, this is what this Bible story might look like in the real world, and you look at it and it's very fascinating. But then if you take a deeper look, you might see, okay, the message is kind of being lost here. So what you were saying about being able to help people distinguish what is truth from what is not real, that would also help. In terms of utilizing other technology, I know a lot of parishes already utilize like screens in mass to help project the lyrics. And that is all well and good. And I love the use of technology in that way, but we also need to ensure that it does not distract from what is happening on the altar. So once it does not distract, we good.
I think one day the Bible verse might change where God was not found in the strong winds, he was not found in the fire, he was not found in the earthquake, but in the silent, stillness, whisper. I think it's going to be added, God is not found in the AI, he's not found online, but in the personal prayer connection.
Yes, that's very true.
And I think that's what we need to remember, you know, dealing with all of this is that in the end, yes, we need to evangelize online in the digital world, but it's how do we bring people to God? How do we bring people into connecting personally with God or in a communal form? And so the call of the church is also always, you know, bring people together. So yes, you have your presence online, and yes, you accompany people, but it should lead to coming together in real life meetings where you can commune, where you can communicate, where you can pray with each other, journey with each other, and bring people to God.
Okay, wonderful. So before we run out of time, I understand that coming out of the conference in February, there's an event at the end of July in Rome.
Yes.
Could you tell me a little bit about that?
Okay, sure. So part of the whole Jubilee year and Jubilee festivities and celebrations is the Jubilee for the digital mission, the digital Jubilee. So it's going to take place in Rome with the Pope on the 28th and the 29th of July. The same group, Conectados, and an expansion of that group has been meeting monthly, once a month, to prepare for this Jubilee meeting. And for those who cannot make it but who want to be part of it, they can still go, well, either physically, but I think there's no space. What I've heard, Italy is fully booked, Rome is fully booked,
Yeah.
and whatever accommodations they had offered should be booked as well. But it is available online. It's going to be available on Zoom.
Okay.
All right, so just have to bear in mind the time difference. Just go look for Digital Jubilee on Google, and it should lead you to that page. And there's a Google form where you can register, and the registration includes your preferred language, because they will have English, translators for your Zoom, whatever link they give you. So you will be in the English one.
I understand.
So the time, I think it's going to be 8:45 in the morning until about 10 o'clock.
Okay.
Both days.
Okay, wonderful. And before we wrap up, I just want to throw out one more question.
Sure.
What messages do you think the church needs to amplify more right now? Anything in particular you think that we should be highlighting?
That God is still present in the midst of all the fear and the injustice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
Similarly, that God is still alive. But I think the message that the church is giving with this Jubilee is exactly what we need. The Jubilee of Hope.
Yeah.
We are pilgrims of hope, and we should live with hope and in hope.
Yeah.
Because without hope, there is no life. And who is our hope? It is God.
Yeah.
And it's the same God back then, who is the same God now, and who will always be.
Yeah.
So if you hold on to that, I think we should never be without hope.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And I think this is a really special time for the church, the year of the Jubilee year.
Yeah.
I feel privileged to be a part of this journey, and I look forward to all that is in store. We say we could always find more work to do as digital missionaries. So we take it with stride, and we try and hold true to the mission, remembering that Jesus Christ is at the center. So I'd just like to thank you all for joining me today and for such a invigorating discussion. And so thank you all for watching. Thank you all for joining us today. And I hope that you will join us for our Pilgrimage of Hope next time on Trinity TV. Thank you, and have a good night.
If you can raise your eyes to the horizons of renewal and restoration, if you can open your ears to the voice of the Beloved who calls you to hope and not despair, if you can reach out and forgive, heal and restore in spite of the hurt and darkness, then you would realize a jubilee of hope and restoration for our world. And you would have made a journey of hope. Come join us in this pilgrimage of hope as it becomes a reality in the life of the church. And truly, it will be a jubilee to celebrate.